What is going on, guys? My name is Clutch Sometimes. I'm your head coach of the Houston Hustle, bringing you your Week 1 team builder for the PCL Season 2. For Week 1, we'll be playing the Columbus Croagunks, which are the rosters and their speeds are above me. But in case you can't read, I'm going to go over the big threat list kind of on Columbus right now. Pretty much their entire team is a threat list. Protein Greninja is extremely busted. Absolutely a Pokemon you don't want to play against. Altaria can obviously put in some work against me. The team I'm bringing lacks a really good hard fairy resist, especially physically. So if he brings like D-Dance Altaria, I cannot let it set up really well. If he gets to +2, I lose. Azumarill is something I really have to play around. My team can deal with Azumarill, but if I let my Whimsicott get 2 chipped, or I let my Rotom 2 chipped as well, I do not deal with Azumarill at all. A Jirachi is a threat in the fact that it's kind of unpredictable. The fact that Jirachi can sit there and it can eat specific hits, and it can set rocks on me, which rocks are kind of good. It helps against Houndoom in a sense, but he also has his hazard control is really pretty bad. His hazard control is Skuntank and Altaria, and that's it. So essentially, if I get rocks or spikes or T-spikes, I mean Claydol as well. I forgot Claydol, but Claydol is a really bad piece of hazard control in my opinion. But so if my hazards are up, they're pretty much going to be there to stay. And toxic spikes, because he has 1 poison type. I mean, Skuntank is also a defogger, so it's a defogger that doesn't have to deal with those T-spikes. So doing that, setting those T-spikes up, and getting that consistent damage on type Null and Altario after it Mega Evolves and switches in, Azu could be potentially huge. Arcanine, because Arcanine could potentially be a really big problem for me. Especially since I'm bringing Double Grass and a Selgor, Arcanine could be an extremely big problem. So potentially putting it on a timer and threatening it out and keeping it away from my team is super important. So let's go over the team here. So with that, also on my side, he does not like Houndoom whatsoever. If I can get Houndoom in this completely unscathed, in the right spot, it can sweep his team. It is the fastest thing outside of Protein Greninja or like Scarf Galvant. Because potential Scarfers is like Jirachi, and Scarf Jirachi is hard-walled by Mega Houndoom. And Scarf Greninja is really good, but I have a game plan that could potentially just get rid of Greninja turn 1. And I'll get into that as you see with my first Pokemon here. Whimsicott is really good at handling Whimsicott, and my Double Grass is really good at handling Azu, which is a huge threat to my entire team if I let it get going. Things I won't be bringing: Mew. I couldn't find the right Mew set because I want Mew to be diverse and offensive, but there's nothing that Mew can do that the rest of my team won't do already. So we're gonna skip out on bringing that this week. Umbreon's extremely abusable on his side, especially since it's setup fodder for Mega Altaria and Azu, and potentially Calm Mind Jirachi or something along those nature. Protein Greninja just deals with it. It doesn't do anything here. Suicune, Suicune doesn't break through things like Azu and Jirachi and Mega Altaria. Those, if you haven't noticed, those 3 are big. It also has to deal with Shaman and Galvantula. It does not work. Doublade had some potential, but I had it for a little bit. But the problem is that it doesn't stop anything. It deals with Jirachi in a good sense, but it also doesn't stop anything from happening. So I didn't bring it. I'm not going to bring that either. So we're going to get into it here. We have our first Pokemon here is Scarf Selgor. Yes, I'm saying it. I'm bringing it. The Heat, turn 1 of the season. Mr. Palookie, the Selgor. The whole game plan with this Selgor set. We have enough special attack to OHKO a max HP Greninja from full, and the speed is just one higher than a Scarf than regular Greninja. So therefore, if he Scarfs it, we outspeed. We click Bug Buzz. No more Greninja. which our entire team says thank you, because this entire team does get 6-0 by Greninja. My entire roster does. There's no amount of something that I can bring that can deal with Greninja. So my whole plan, because I know one of the big things with Greninja, you just leave with it, you click U-turn, you get out, or you click some super effective button. Greninja's a great scout that way. You can set hazards. I'm not dealing with it. I'm clicking Scarf. I'm clicking Scarf Bug Buzz from Selgor, turn 1, and getting it out of my sight. Because my rest of my team can't be like, oh, Ice Beam. You run Waterfall, Ice Beam. You can 6-0 my entire team. Like, Grass Knot here, Ice Beams, some dark coverage. Like it's easily baited out. So moving on here, also in this set, we have Sludge Bomb. Just in case we can get Altaria below 50%, Scarf Sludge Bomb can deal with an Altaria at +1. I think it might be +2. I think it might be +2. I have to look into that. I think it's +1. At minimum, you can deal with it at +1. So we click Sludge Bomb, potentially get rid of +1 Altaria, which also is a huge threat against us. And T-Spikes, again, I said it earlier, but his hazard control is really weak, and if it is existent, it's really abusable. And I can use the rest of my roster to really abuse that and get myself free turns on it, if he really wants to spin. So the next part of our roster is Landorus Therian form. I keep going back and forth on this set. I am going to settle on Choice Scarf Landorus. I know it's nothing really special, but we're going to do it anyway. So what the speed there is 200 plus, which is 294 speed. 294 speed, which is enough to outspeed Max Jolly Skuntank, which is what we can do with this, because we don't beat Arcanine, we don't beat anything else. So doing that, Earthquake is super free against this team. He has the Claydol, and the Shaman's he's a couple good resists, but it's really easy to read those coming in, so you can just get yourself right out with a U-turn, which potentially could get me into something really, really big offensively, something like an Hiligo, something like a Houndoom, something like my Double Grass. So, I mean, it's a really basic set. I don't really think there's much more to explain. Max attack, just for max attack. Enough speed there, and the rest just gets stored in HP. Pretty basic. Intimidate, only ability possible. I've forgot to mention a Sticky Hold there, so he can't knock me off effectively. So he tries to knock me off, it won't work, because Sticky Hold prevents me from being knocked off. So, our next Pokemon here. Nihilego. Nihilego is a beast. Without any Jirachi on this team, he loses. He legitimately loses to this. We are a speed boost, so potentially if offensive Jirachi is within 30% and I get a kill, if it's like Choice Scarf, I can click knockoff and he loses his Jirachi, and it's game. Because I'll be +2 speed, and there's nothing on his roster that can outspeed a +2 Nihilego. Not even close. And it's just that simple. Power Gem plus Sludge Wave just gets stabbed. It hits his entire team pretty well neutrally, except for Claydol, which we have Claydol, we have Grass Knot. Pretty simple stuff right there. Knockoff is also good for utility, so if I don't want to intentionally go for the sweep, I can just knock something off. And you have to deal with Nihilego if you're the Columbus Croagunks. You have to. It is something you just don't look at and go, it's not a big deal. It's a huge deal. We're going to skip over Houndoom here, because it kind of coincides with our Whimsicott. So our Whimsicott set is Cotton Guard, Sunny Day, Memento with a Heat Rock. So it's a little bit weird. So what it's designed to do is to deal with Azu if it gets to +6. Ozzy gets to +6, we click Cotton Guard, we click Giga Drain, no more. Whatever comes in, we are either clicking Sunny Day and then Memento, and then potentially try to Memento into Houndoom for game, or just clicking straight Memento to try and get into Nihilego for game. There is nothing he wants to deal with set 4 at all. Nothing on his roster wants to deal with these two getting in free turns. Free turns for these two is game winning for me. So this gives us momentum. With Memento, Cotton Guard allows us to take hits. We have Giga Drain, because with our investment, max HP Azumarill is a 2-hit KO. We do 50% minimum. So after it belly drums, we get the Giga Drain. It's gone for good, and that's great. If he's belly drum Citrus Berry, we get the 120. We get the 124. We 2-hit KO it, and he can't 3-hit KO us. So on to our final member of this team here. We have Rotom Mow form. So Rotom Mow is also our form of hazard control. He has not that many hazard options on his team, but the one I would be most worried about if he brings is Galvantula for Sticky Webs. If I see Galvantula for Sticky Webs, I am trying my hardest not to let them get up, so I'm probably just going to lead Nihilego if there's like a Sticky Web option, because I really need to pick off, but I really want to pick off Greninja, so we're probably going to end up leading a Selgor. Because there's a very real chance you just lead Greninja, try to turn that into Galvantula based on my lead. So I think what we're going to end up trying to do, lead a Selgor, Bug Buzz the Greninja no matter what. And then, but this is if this doesn't work out, this is our way of dealing with his hazards, which aren't that plentiful. He has a decent enough amount of control, so it doesn't really affect us, but I don't want to deal with Sticky Webs, and he has Claydol for Rapid Spin, so it's kind of annoying. So I would much rather not be playing the Defog. That was originally Pain Split, but I ended up changing it to Defog just so I don't have to deal with it. Leaf Storm can KO an Azu from full, so if it's banded, I can click Leaf Storm, it's gone. No more Azu. Volt Switch is just pretty dang good against his entire team. I believe Leaf Storm also can KO a Claydol from full, or 2 KO it pretty easily. Volt Switch is just for general momentum. Because I can Volt Switch on this entire team except for Claydol, which does not like Leaf Storm one bit. Will-O-Wisp potentially to burn a physical Greninja, or an Azu, or a Jirachi, so which makes it easier for my team to deal with it. So that's going to be the team for this week. Leave your thoughts in the description, and be sure to like, comment, and subscribe. And I will see you guys when I post this battle, which will most likely be a post-com. My battles will most likely end up being post-coms, just due to the fact that it's easier for me to be able just to play and then record it later with my commentary behind it. I'm not always going to have the option to. So we will see you with our post-com, and thanks for watching.